welcome to Horrible.
Here you go. See, this is why you shouldn't have fucking started.
He was like, do you want to start the episode? I'm like, oh, yeah, I do. Hi, everybody.
Okay, damage is not on this episode. We're not using our sex voices this week.
Well, first of all, you want me to not use a sex voice on the Throuple episode, ma'am.
Anyway, y'all, I don't know if y'all can hear the excitement through her goddamn voice. She's
These
no
are
longer in a
people
throuple,
of
so
my
she
own
found
heart,
one.
Hanny. Y'all, welcome to Horrible Decisions, the show where we destigmatize kinks for the black ass community we're in. And if you're not in there, welcome. We allow you to have a piece of it this hour. My name's Wheezy, and I'm joined by my co-host.
Y'all already know, bitch, this your motherfucking girl, Mandy B, a.k.a. Pet the Stallion, a.k.a. Full Court Punks, a.k.a. that bitch. Because I am still that bitch. Just know that. Y'all see me in the swimsuits on the gram.
I
know y'all see me because you're talking shit. But it's okay. I'm getting in them motherfucking swimsuits.
Okay, and so we also have other people here, and we would love to talk to them.
I know. I just had to say that real quick, too. Before we start, I do because I had to go off in the comments real quick, just so y'all know. I'm on every week talking about pegging niggas and sucking dick. And I've mentioned that I've sucked dick at one point in my life for money. So don't think for any chance that I'm going to be an example for any of you hoes.
Where did this come from?
I was in Miami. It's coronavirus. Y'all know I was telling y'all hoes to stay in the motherfucking house. They was like, damn, you not setting a good example. I am not an example. I have not pushed a human being out of this pussy. And until then, I didn't sign up to be an example setter for any of you hoes.
Bitch, I don't know who shit in your drink today.
You go.
But God,
Girl, I'm drinking water. I ain't even drinking no motherfucking
that's because she's trying to make an example out of
herself
herself with the Poland Spring. Anyway, so I'm excited for this episode, you guys.
Sorry, it ain't
Mandy,
Fiji hole.
Mandy and I have tried to meet with this throuple before. I think you guys were going to fly out in April before, COVID happened. So we're so excited that they're here with us. So what I'm going to do, because we're going to hear a few voices and it might be difficult. Let's go youngest to oldest.
Why you gotta bring the age?
I just want to know, bitch. But I'm not
put
trying
them
to
all
act,
out there.
Okay, so
no, let's go with who's had sex the most times in one night to the lowest. Okay, look, it's the one at the bottom of the screen. She looking like, yo.
Yeah. All right, so tell us when you guys go in order. What your name is and your sexual orientation.
All right. Well, my name is Shayla. I don't have a whole bunch of AKs yet, but I'm Shay. That's about it. And then sexual orientation, bisexual and polyamorous.
Okay. So we don't know who the youngest next?
Right. But I was the youngest.
I'm James. My bad. I'm James. I'm straight. And shit, I go AKA.
Did you just put a C in straight?
No, he put a K, Mandy. Is what
he put it in there.
I'm from Memphis, so I got a little bit accent still, but that's my AKA. Everybody out here call me Memphis, so that's what it is.
Okay, cool.
Hey, and I'm Shante, aka Tay, and I'm bisexual.
Tay, Shay, and Memphis. Boy, oh boy, what a black ass episode we're about to have, guys. So I know you're all curious. What are these three doing on the podcast? Mandy and I actually have a thing where we hate having more than two other mics opposite us, but it had to for these three because they all come together.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm dying deep down inside, cringing, but we gonna get through this and we gonna work on not cutting y'all motherfuckers off either. So.
No, we're gonna do good. So we're gonna start with our vanilla shit this week before we dive into a bunch of questions. I almost feel like I have to rush this because we're all so pressed to figure out more about you three. But vanilla shit is our segment where we talk about sex in the news every week. And this article comes from Time Out magazine. And its headline saying, New York City launches a free condom delivery service. This is from the Department of Health. It's a door-to-door new home delivery service of safer sex products and an HIV self-test kits. Now, I don't know how many people are being born in New York that they had to give y'all niggas free Ubers to condoms, but in 2020, there's so many risks. And every year, the health department gives about 30 million male condoms out, some internal condoms, lubricant, to over 3,500 nonprofit organizations, but now they are going to be delivering it to your door. A full array of condoms, including the Legend XL. So y'all niggas be like, them free condoms don't fit. Okay. Well, they're here. The Art Condom NYC. I don't know what comes on the Art Condom. I don't know if there's a Basquiat version or what. But what I do know is it comes in the mail as well, discreetly packaged envelopes. You can only get 2 products at a time. And
You said it's the Art Condom?
I'm serious. It's Art Condom NYC.
So like the sleeves where you could put like fake tattoos on your arm, I could get like some tattoo ding-a-ling.
I wonder. Like, wait, what if you got an Ed Hardy dick?
I would be cool with fucking some Von Dutch dick or something like that.
Okay,
with a little
that's
logo
not
on
art,
it.
bitch.
I mean, it is. I mean, it's written fancy in fancy letters,
Right.
like graffiti.
So let me give you guys the phone number, by the way, okay? Because this phone number that I'm going to give you is also going to tell you where to get the HIV kits. So this is the NYC Sexual Health Clinic. Put this in your notes. Get ready. 347-396-7959. Monday through Friday, 9 to 3:30. They're on the line. And this is a clinic hotline where you can get advice on how to get free shit, how to get the free condoms, stuff about antiviral therapy if you already have HIV, STD questions, because y'all been popping that pussy during quarantine. Just like Mandy's been popping the pussy on the boat, being a non-example for you hoes.
Really, bitch?
Hey.
I wasn't even popping no pussy.
Oh,
But what
Y'all
about
know I got a
taking a
toy
guess.
friend now. That's what Weezy called it. I got a toy friend now. So
Weezy
I was
acting
on
up
my
in
very-
Mexico?
Excuse me, you know what I mean? I was on my best behavior in Miami. I don't know what you talking about.
Bitch, I ain't gonna lie.
I
I do want to pop some pussy out here, but it's a very Burning Man crowd, and you can't pop it out here like that.
Nah, man. Before we get to another segment too, something that again, with everything going on, I know a lot of people's timelines are kind of back to normal. But that doesn't mean that we are not still fighting a fight. For those of you who have not been able to make it out to protesting, for those of you who do not have money to maybe donate, something else that you can do, of course, I am bringing awareness to different petitions that you can sign. It's literally with the click of a button. You literally sign your first name, your last name, and your email address. The petition that you guys can sign this week that will be in the description of this episode is again on change.org, and it is to reopen the case involving the death of Tamla Horsford. For those of you who are not familiar with this case, this is the mother of 5 who was found dead after having a sleepover with a lot of white women. Apparently this happened in Forsyth County, which is in Georgia. So not to be confused with North Carolina, Forsyth County, but basically everyone involved had some sort of relation to the politicians, the sheriff in the city, and they pretty much ruled it a suicide that she jumped off of the second floor balcony. So what this petition does is it reopens the case to look further into investigation on what was the real cause of death to Tamla Horsford. I also want to say RIP to Toyin Salo. That is the activist who was found murdered. They actually did find her murderer as well. So I just wanted to RIP to Toyin. Yeah, all right, now we can get back to some host shit.
That story you told, by the way, is an older story, and it's crazy because it's just resurfacing. And the picture of that night, if you guys have ever seen it, there's a picture of her with those women that night.
Yeah,
it's really insane. But like, again, so on top of the police brutality, again, I think a lot of the instances regarding Black women have been kind of swept under the rug. Literally only one of the people involved in the Breonna Taylor case has been fired. So no arrests, no charges. Literally only one of the officers were fired. So also still fighting for justice for Breonna Taylor.
So we're going to get to the hors d'oeuvre. And hopefully our throuple will have some insight on another piece of advice. But everybody writes in every other fucking week on how to have a threesome. In 3 fucking years, I don't know how much advice we've given. I don't know if I'm just the token bitch to have threesomes on this show. Mandy's had them, but y'all legit be coming up to me at meet and greets like, so will you fuck me and my nigga? And I'm like, wow, there's another girl right here.
Bro, you the one who say you want to fuck the fans, bro.
I said it. I already did it out 3 times. I'm finished.
You is fucking fans, so bitch, they gonna keep asking you a meet and greet to join them and they niggas.
I'm not doing it anymore. So anyway, here's my advice. For the threesome, this is very simple advice. This is for not assuming a throuple, obviously, but just people that are starting out. super basic but serious, because I feel like every time we get an email about something, this would have helped you in the beginning. Make sure that everyone is excited about having it. I don't know why, for the love of God, men are almost coercing their girlfriends into fucking women that they don't want to fuck, one, and two, making them feel guilty about it. Like, oh, see, I can't never do shit with you either. You don't want me to cheat. You know what I'm saying? So damn, you just gonna have me do this? That is gaslighting. It's disgusting. Why don't you just go fuck another bitch instead of make me feel bad about it? Like, do you understand that is literally the definition of coercion? How you gonna make, like, what if women did this to you? Oh wow, you ain't gonna suck a dick with me, nigga? How you feel when you hear that?
Right.
So I want to know if you guys have given people any advice when it comes to threesomes, or maybe when people are asking you advice, what's the first piece that you go to?
Hit on those waitresses. I mean, hit on the waitresses. You're out. There's people all around you. Hit on the just the people that you talk to. You might be in a bar and hit it off with somebody, and just get out of your comfort zone. I think for James, that was a lot easier for me. I don't really hit on women a lot, so that was kind of out of my comfort zone. But once I kind of stepped out of that and decided that, I was going to shoot my shot, then I would say it works. Or, again, James in the mix of that.
Right. And I'm
not going to lie. I actually like that piece of advice. I don't think that, I think people automatically think they have to go to a strip club to find someone who would join them.
Oh, no.
And instead, you could easily just start off by, flirting with your waitresses or your bartenders, and I would say, Shayla, I think you said that you're a little bit more shy and that James would do the flirting. But I'll say, as someone who was in that space as a waitress, as a bartender, when the woman flirts with you, that's when you kind of have more of the go. I think if the guy starts flirting, you don't know if it's just on some uncomfortable shit, if he disrespectful.
Coercion shit.
And so as a woman, as in that position, you don't really want to flirt back. So I would say, for women in the situation, if you've already talked about it with your partner and you do go the route of flirting with the waitress and stuff like that, I would say, Shayla, or any woman listening, you be the first to flirt. Guys, don't do it.
Right.
Because we all know we all know the play.
Might get in trouble.
Right. And that's what I be telling her too, because she less shy once I say something. Once I say something, she all uppity and she with the shit. But that's why I be telling you.
Because I need to see how they react.
You got to say something first. Nah, fuck that. You got to say something. That's why I be telling you. If you say something.
I'll be honest with you. I feel you though, Shayla, because like, my nigga literally has said, like, I'm not doing shit. If you don't talk, we not getting in a fight about this, whatever. But if he just says one little thing, because sometimes I'll give him a hint like, okay, maybe her.
Right.
And then it kind of starts off like that. But have you found that people are, or ever, like, when it's just been two of you, whether it be you and Shante or you and Shay, have you noticed that sometimes people are looking at you and have you ever felt like someone wanted the invite? Can you tell me about a time like that?
I mean, sometimes you can tell. Usually, they always ask questions or they hint. Like they'll comment on the woman, like, "Oh, she's so pretty, she's so beautiful."
Yeah,
and then that's
like the first
to
thing.
me. Right, obviously, like, oh, she with the shit.
I've been
She
in
wants
New
to
York
smoke.
way too long. You just said "birtiful." I heard "birtiful."
Yo,
I know y'all probably used to his accent, but I ain't gonna hold you. I've been in New York for a little bit. He said "birtiful" and it's great.
This top 5 accents we ever, maybe top. This is the best we ever had.
No, but yeah, I mean, it comes and goes and shit. Because I've been out here for about 10, 11 years. So.
No, it doesn't come and go, sir. We hear exactly where you're from.
Shante, do you have any advice to give someone looking to start or have or introduce a threesome in their relationship or with their partner?
Well, I'm not prior to being in this type of relationship, I was limited on how many threesomes I didn't had. So I'm not the one that y'all want to ask. Because like what Shay was saying, like with them two, they would hit on like waitresses and things like that. I just asked my best friend, like, hey, you want to...
Okay, so me. Thank you, sis. I'm glad we got you on the call.
I love that there's a difference, though.
So I guess let me ask you then, in terms of bringing in your friends, I think a lot of people assume that bringing in your friends into that environment ruins the relationship or the friendship, or you feel some type of way. Have you experienced that with bringing your friends into the bedroom with you?
I did feel some type of way. I'm not gonna get into any details, but yeah, I do. I did feel some type of way, but we were so cool afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'd say for us, like for me, we've had the threesomes with friends. I feel like I've gone through all my friends, but it doesn't affect the relationship. And my friends know like how I am, so we might be fucking in front of them just to like be like, come over here, you know. But they all know
me.
Okay.
Right.
Bro, Liz, I be letting them know you could go
Hey.
to the lobby or you could stay in the room.
No, but I
Right.
mean, again, it was
But-
just
Which one of us
talking
is
to
gonna fuck
friends.
the perfect triangle when they get to our show?
Hey, which one of y'all? Let me know.
Hey, come on now.
We've been trying to give James a little surprise. So,
let's get right into the horrible decision.
I couldn't hear what you said. What did you say?
They said they've been
Y'all-
trying to give me a fourth
Ain't no
option.
way she in the same house as y'all. I ain't even gonna hold you. Unless she recording on a Wii or
done.
Etch a Sketch.
No, I'm so
we
done.
saw it. We in the same house.
No.
Fuck, y'all got favorites? Y'all gave her the like janky Wi-Fi? The fuck?
Hey, I just came in from work, so my station was already made up for me.
Oh, come on,
Say
station.
that.
Okay, so I want to call this my girlfriend, and I. And the only reason I'm going to give this a little bit of mask possession is because, for the most part, we have had more women dominate the conversation about threesomes. And I'm kind of interested in obviously bouncing back and forth, but you do seem like the more dominant figure in these two. In this situation, I could tell. And I'm curious to know how you guys met. Let's start with that. How you met, and then everybody kind of jump in about what they were thinking of each other.
Me and Shayla, who you was talking to, Weezy, my bad.
You. Let's start it off with you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Shayla met in school, in high school and shit. My senior year. I think she was I don't know what the fuck she was, but we met in school. But me and Shante actually worked together. So I was flirting with her and shit because we was looking for a third, but not looking for a third to be in our relationship because we was actually just tired of the random threesomes and shit with motherfuckers just come in and out. But
Yeah.
shit, so I presented it to Shante, and I think she thought I was bullshit, and she thought I was just talking. But I had them meet up because if Shayla wasn't
Without
with it,
you?
yeah. Had them meet first and shit. So if they didn't mesh, then we wouldn't even waste our time with it.
Right.
Yeah, because
So can I ask you, Shante? Look,
Shante.
the
The
names
little
it's all the
chocolate
same.
one.
All
The
of y'all
chocolate
shit.
one is
So-
Shante.
you know what I mean? So Shante, can I ask you kind of what that first interaction and what that first meeting was like? And did you guys at all like talk about becoming a couple? Was that even in the conversation when you guys hung out by yourselves?
Shoot, that seems like it was so long ago. But no, we hit it off perfectly. We talked. It was like a little brunch setting, so it was like in a comfortable atmosphere. We chopped it up, and then afterwards we went and smoked. But it was.
Did you? I'm
uh,
curious to know. Did you feel like when you met Shayla, did you feel like she was more like it was a homegirl sister vibe, or were you attracted to her when you met her? What was that initial feeling?
I was attracted to her. I was like, oh, okay, she cute. All right, I see you. No, but I thought she was cute. And I mean, at first it's a little intimidating because you have a couple or a man telling you that him and his girl wants somebody to join the relationship. So meeting her, I was just like, I don't know about this. I was a little nervous getting out of the car. But like I said, like our conversation, everything flowed. Everything was perfect. And she was pretty. So
Yeah. What? How long have you guys been together, Shay? Before you met?
Oh,
Shante.
before Shante came into the relationship, me and James have been together for what? I'm really bad at this stuff. I think like 5 or 6 years. So about 5. I would say 5.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
How long
and
have the three of you
again,
been together?
about almost 2 years, so a year and a half or so. And I definitely agree with what Shante said. We try not to, I would say we try not to give the whole homegirl vibe. Like, I try not to give that, because essentially my purpose is not to be a homegirl. Like, I want to fuck you. I want you to be my woman, and I want you to be my nigga's woman and everything too. So like, I'm not there to be your friend. But I would say, like, in the beginning, when James first told me about Shante, like he said, we weren't really actively looking anymore. The looking process is very dragging, and we really open it up to each other for us to flirt with who we want to try to establish or bring that the person into the relationship. But once we agreed on Shante, brought her to my attention, I agreed. I thought she was a very beautiful woman, met up with her. And honestly, going in, I wasn't even sure if she was going to be for real, because we had so many flakes and so many, I want to do this, and this and this and that, and it just didn't work.
Right. So I'm curious to know, I'm going to ask this question to Tay. Do people ever like assume that you're in like a controlling a relationship, or like you don't want this because some dude found you at work and got you living with him and his girlfriend? And like, has that happened to you when you've told your friends? Because I'm assuming that with them, maybe they've already had some conversation with their friends about it. But what about you? You are the quote unquote third, right?
Right. I've had people ask me if I'm settling. Because, obviously failed relationships in the past, and they're like, okay, well, like, is it because you can't find a man of your own to where you have to be with a man and a woman that's already been established? And I have to explain it to them, like, no, that's not it. Because if I wanted to get a dude with just me and that dude, I have no problem doing that. It's just something that obviously was new and foreign to me. If I didn't like it, I would have left the relationship a long time ago. But obviously I liked it enough to stay. And it's like, you build a relationship with not only the man, but you build a relationship with the woman, and then you guys all build a relationship together. So, like they say, you can't knock it till you try it.
I love that.
There you go.
We're going to take a quick break just to get to our ads.
Hey guys, this week's episode is brought to you by no motherfucking body. I just want to say thank you to everyone who is a patron and everyone who supports the brand. For those of you who are all caught up with horrible decisions, you can now become a patron at patreon.com/horrible decisions and get up to 3 bonus episodes every month. We're so excited. Stay tuned, because at the end of this episode, you will hear a 5-minute bonus clip from our Patreon bonus episode. And there are over 70 there for you to catch up on. So if you have caught up with all of the Horrible Decisions episodes, become a patron now at patreon.com/horrible decisions. Now let's get on with the show. All right, so we are back. And so I have a question, because Shante, you were first, I guess, in the relationship with James, correct?
No,
Shayla.
Shayla. See, damn, I thought I was doing good. I really thought I was doing good. God damn it. So I guess my question is, because anytime we've heard of Lou Will, we've heard of, all these athletes that go about having 2 girlfriends, but what happens is people feel like they're the primary girlfriend, and then there's a secondary. There's one that's more in charge and one that's underneath. There's one that has kids and the other one doesn't have kids, so maybe she's not as worthy. How do you, not damn, that sounded petty, but how do you guys, I guess, go about this relationship without feeling like there's a hierarchy in the relationship between the two of you?
So number one, it was transparency from the beginning, that there wasn't going to be a hierarchy between any of us. Of course, James is dominant, and he's the only man in the relationship. But between me and Shante, like, I don't even really like using the word third when it comes to her, because I see her as just as important, and her needs and her wants are just as important as mine are.
I want one.
Now, I will say, before you just open it all up to a woman in your relationship and to your man and to you, make sure she's for real, and that her intentions are true. When Shante came into the relationship, she made it crisp and clear that she wasn't here to steal nobody's man. Like, She
I love
made
that.
sure we really put in our time for me and her's relationship before even like her and James got to really get a solid relationship. We had that bond. And so
Did you
now,
ever have moments of jealousy because she was the new fresh? Like,
of course.
did you ever? Yeah.
Of course. I feel like it's a myth that poly people don't get jealous, but yeah, I get jealous, but I think what helps the jealousy is my reaction. Number one, you got to put yourself in check. Am I getting jealous because he kissed her on the cheek and didn't kiss me on the cheek? Or like, is it a serious thing that we all need to talk about? Like, I'm not getting no dick. What's up? You know, but
That's a serious thing.
You know what I mean?
serious, and that'll be brought up quick.
I actually like that you mentioned that, James. I want to ask you, as a man, do you feel the pressure? If you dick one down, you got to go dick the other one down. Or if you give one a kiss, you got to give the other a kiss. Is there any pressure for you as a man to feel like, okay, I can't show favoritism, or I don't want them to think there's any favoritism? Do you feel like if you give one something, you have to give the other something as well?
As far as sex, I say no, because we try not to keep count, and it's just like whenever we spending our one-on-one time together, if we so happen to fuck in that time, then we fuck. And then we don't talk like Shayla or neither Shante and I asking me, oh, did y'all fuck when y'all was together? So we're not like keeping count of it like that. But it do, like if I kiss one of them, like if I'm leaving the house and both of them, I gotta kiss both of them though, because they'll look at me stupid like, come on nigga, like stop playing with me.
Do you, James, I want to ask you this. There was a very popular show on Showtime some years ago called Polyamory. And it was the first time, it might have been even been 10 years ago, that people really saw throuples and even, what do you call a quadruple, whatever, in relationships, living together. And the guy made a joke and he was like, my friends be like, damn, you got it going on. He's like, oh my God, like this shit is stressful as fuck. I'm missing shampoo, razors, like these bitches are too much. Do you think that there is a hype to you having it all? Do you feel like there is a lot of work in being with two women?
It is a lot of work, and it's a lot of hype around it because people see it and they be like, "Damn, we just had somebody over recently, like, damn, like how you get two girlfriends? I want to get like that." I'm like, there's a lot of work and a lot of paperwork involved too. You gotta pay for two women dinners when we go out. You gotta get to know two different women.
Y'all got one.
And you gotta understand, like, it's hard to please one woman or get to know one woman, and you gotta satisfy both women needs. And these two, Shayla and Shante, they receive love two different ways. So you gotta learn how to love each woman separately, because women don't date, at least them two, they don't receive it the same way.
Are you guys familiar with love languages? And if so, do you guys know which one's your love language is?
We did a test like a few weeks ago.
I think it was like months
ago. Oh, okay, whatever. On one of our shows, but
so I would say right now we're actually kind of doing the love language, the 5 love languages. So one week we did words of affirmation. And this was Shantae's idea.
Oh, you guys are doing different weeks. And
God, I love
that. That is cute.
And actually, I really love the words of affirmation week. I think that so far, that's been the one that we really stuck to it the most and made sure we did that every day. And then it just reminds you of why I love her, why I love him, like what I appreciate.
What you guys did, I think that any couple listening to this or anyone in a relationship, I think taking those, not even just taking the test, but going through the 5 love languages and taking a week out for each one, and so just dope. To remind yourself the love that you guys do have for each other, but displaying it in different ways. I love that. I think I'm going to do that with my toy friend.
Yeah, we did the test, and I don't even remember what our results were from the test, but I remember when we were doing it week by week, which one was the one that I really felt the most. So doing the test and then doing it weekly really does help.
Yo, shout out to you, James, by the way. He was like, they receive love differently. Okay. Now, I want to ask, let's go with you, Tay. Do your friends and family know, and how did that work out?
So not everybody in my family knows. There's like a certain amount that know, and then there's a certain amount that have met both of them, not together, but
do
separately.
They think they're your roommates?
No, well, I don't live with them.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but they come over almost all the time. But my sister, I would say my youngest sister, me and her are really close. When she first found out, she was the one that was just like, "Are you settling?" She was kind of worried, like what is my sister doing? Like, I still want you to, have kids and things like that. So there was a lot of things that she thought I wouldn't be able to experience because I was with these two. But yeah, I told her that wasn't the case.
Okay.
So.
James, how do you do? First of all, do any of you have children?
I do. I have a daughter.
James.
You have a daughter. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Even more interesting. May I ask how old she is?
5.
so
5. Is this
How do you-
something that you've have you introduced her to both of your girlfriends?
Yeah, because my daughter was born right before me and Shayla got together. So she's known Shayla her entire life.
Her whole life.
Right.
Okay.
So and right now we she sees Shante, my bad, a lot because she's over a lot, and she knows her right now as just Shayla's best friend.
okay.
Right.
Okay.
I can understand that'd be hard for a 5-year-old to conceptualize.
It's really
Right.
hard.
And
Right.
Yeah, it's difficult.
I would appreciate anybody that understands that, because I know there's probably somebody that's like, damn, well, why not? That's a lot,
Right.
Yeah.
How do you feel about having kids with both of your girlfriends, and how do you guys have conversations about that? We'll start with you, James, and then we'll go to the girls. Yeah.
It's a conversation we had. They both still want kids, and obviously we had that conversation. And obviously, I agreed to it, or both of them would have been gone already because they firm on what they want, and like they not going. If I'm not willing to give it to them, then they gonna be out. So
Yeah.
I'm open to it, and we haven't crossed that line as of yet, but it's coming.
Let me ask another question. People assume when they see a throuple or anything like this, or a man with 2 women, polygamy, we think of TLC's Sister Wives. Do y'all feel like you're in that relationship or no?
Sisters and sex shouldn't be in the same sentence. Me
Say that
and
shit,
Shante
girl. Speak on it.
fuck. So we're not sister wives. I just want to make that clear. So
That does have some ancestry.
Right.
No.
Nasty.
What is y'all
It
doing? That's some WPS.
I mean, shit, technically we out here calling niggas daddies, so it's just all fucked up. You know what I mean? We shouldn't be fucking our daddies either. Shit.
That's true.
I guess my question, you brought up earlier that, and this is to James, you brought up earlier that not only is paperwork involved, kind of as far as money's involved with taking care of 2 meals when you go out, bills, of course, whenever both of them decide to move in, wink, wink, we want to hear the update on that. But do you think that someone that does not have their money in order can successfully have 2 girlfriends? Or do you think it is something where you need to be financially able to provide for 2 women in order to be in this type of relationship?
I mean, it can be either. Just it depends, I guess, because they both have really good jobs and shit, and they get paid good. But at the end of the day, they're 2 women, and they're gonna look to you as the man to provide because that's your job, essentially. But
Come on,
I feel
James.
like you shouldn't even want them to pay for everything and to provide for you, because they can go into any other relationship and have the man provide for just them.
Tay, Shay, I'm letting y'all know right now, bitch is about to be coming for this nigga.
Facts, but because
Right.
he think he need to provide for us, but I have a strong mindset that I'm gonna provide for myself. So, and she has that same strong mindset. So it depends on who you with. If you
No, I mean, you guys are going to
someone
have,
that's like,
from
take
what
care
we
of
can
me.
all see, I feel like, I mean, I'm just speaking I think Mandy would agree. You'll have a prosperous relationship if you all think like that. Because, I mean, I think what he's saying is great. But when you have 2 women that are also like that, y'all vacations ain't going to be no bullshit.
3
Right.
incomes.
Right.
You know, it's
Right.
3 incomes.
And then I feel like you can budget together too if you're in that type of relationship. If you with 2 women and y'all put y'all money together, you guys can, take some things out. It don't require to ball out every time you go to dinner and shit like that.
Right.
Let's
Can I
get
ask
to
you a
some
question? Well,
sex.
first off, y'all can't. Well, that's what I was about to ask.
Okay.
Actually, we was getting into the sex part because I was just talking with my toy friend about this, and I wanted to know. And this is a question for all of y'all because Weezy has also been in a throuple. When we have this word and mindset of a throuple, yes, we know that there's 3 people involved, but could a throuple consist of 2 men and a girl? And if so, with a throuple, do the 2 people who are the same sex have to have sex together? Otherwise, is it called something else? Let me know what a throuple is.
Ooh, so if it is 2 men and a woman, obviously they don't have to have sex unless the men are bi. You can't have 2 straight men fuck each other.
And then it would be a V.
Right. It would be a V. So with that being said, it would be the man being in a relationship with both women, but the women not being in a relationship with each other.
Or for your example, the 2 men not being in a relationship with each other, but the woman being the focal point. But the reason why it's a V, it's not that connected triangle because the 2 men and or 2 women aren't sexually
involved.
Triangle. Okay, so here's my question that everybody is not going to be surprised that I'm asking. So
here we go.
Are your periods synced up? And if no, my nigga, are you like, bye, I gotta get some pussy?
Y'all knew she was gonna bring up the blood.
Right.
I don't know if y'all really listen. Y'all know this whole love blood.
Right.
Your periods are synced up.
They're almost. I think she'll start before I do, and then I'll start on when she's like on the tail end of hers. Like when she's on day 4 or 5, then I'll start mine.
So he gets a break. For him, he don't want them to be synced because then there is no breaks.
Right.
But I'm trying to hurry up and get them synced. Because when you on your period and then
you gotta, right.
You eating pussy and you sucking dick, but you can't do too much else. But if
I was in a brief throuple and it was
y'all be
very
out here
hard.
with a massacre? Y'all gonna have a massacre going on?
No. We don't fuck with the bloody stuff.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I don't do the blood.
Right.
I don't do that.
I don't do the blood.
Wait. He even make us wait 2 days after our period before he'll fuck us.
Because
I know that's right. Same.
Nah, that ain't.
You know that's what the Jews do.
He don't want, nah, bro. He said he don't want the red blood or the brown.
Right, I don't
Keep
want
the
none of
barbecue sauce. I know you in the South, but you don't want the barbecue
Don't
sauce.
flex right now because he's only acting like that because he has another option. Niggas that don't have another option will have to deal with a little bit of barbecue. Okay.
Facts. Right. He has someone else to turn to. He needs something.
Now they'll trick me sometimes though and say like I'm 2 days off. I'll be like, nah, I'm keeping up with this shit. Nah, stop playing with me.
Like,
why? Is it because you love to eat? Is that why?
Yeah, I be trying to get down there and get it in. So I
Niggas
don't
with
want
gold teeth love eating pussy.
That's what they say. Probably,
So Weezy asked, who is the kinkiest of the 3 of you?
probably Shayla.
I was gonna say Shayla.
Yeah.
Probably Shayla.
See, I would say that because I like to try. Like, I'm trying to peg someone, and James won't let
Say
me
that
peg
shit.
him, bro.
And look, James look like, man,
So
so
I'm
you
gonna
gonna take
find
that shit
someone
on?
else
Come on,
if I
man.
want to do that. But
So, well, you can't. So even pegging, I mean, you could still do the act of a strap on with Tay. Tay, is that
Yes.
something that you would be into at all?
Yeah, I told her I would let her.
She want to peg
It's
a nigga
fun- it's
though.
But see, and that's the thing. I want to peg a nigga too. So, like, that's the thing. I just like to try
trying to
different
help
shit.
with an alternative.
Right? I know you trying to help. I'm gonna get Tay. We definitely gonna get there. But I'm trying to peg another nigga.
So let me ask you that because, James, you have 2 girlfriends.
Mhm.
And you do have a girlfriend that does want to try something sexually that you don't want to do. Is that something where you would allow either one of them to partake in something sexual with another man?
Yeah, are you
at
guys
all?
monogamous? I meant to ask that.
I mean, I already gave her the green light to do it with somebody else because it ain't gonna be me. I just want to know in advance though. You know what I mean? She can't just do it behind my back and no shit like that. But keep it 100. Just tell me, and because it's definitely ain't gonna be me.
Ladies, what's wrong with James? Because he sounds great.
So, right. He got 6 toes. I
No,
bet you.
I mean, he's petty. That's what's wrong with him. He's petty.
Cut it out.
And he's
Cut it
big.
out.
Petty.
Like,
Very petty.
he's big.
Cut it out.
Don't
Now,
let
does
him
James-
trick you. He's
Does
good
James
at
have a
that.
big dick? Because we feel like we hear BDE through the screen. I need to know.
Yes. He does.
Look at her
Sorry.
smiling.
She interrupted.
She said it's down to
the
his
dick?
kneecap.
Is that what you was asking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, the dick is there.
James,
The dick
how
is
tall are
good.
you?
5'10".
Okay, see, that's enough. That's all we need.
That's enough.
Right.
Exactly.
It's the national average.
God
Right.
is not gonna
Again,
bless
he
you with a
likes
big dick,
to-
a cool attitude, and money, and make you 6'5". We will take this.
Exactly.
Well, I beg to differ because that's what
Right,
I mean.
that's
You
what
know,
that's
I
what
mean,
man to fuck with. Them athletes
You
and shit.
know what I mean?
You know
Thank you. Give my
pick a
nigga some
5'10"
props
real
over here.
quick.
My toy friend is tall, and he got all that other qualities going on. You know what I mean? So I guess let me ask you as well, just before I think, we're trying to get all these sex questions in too with you guys. So you guys are in a threesome. You got all the pussy you would want. James, has there ever been a conversation about y'all bringing in a fourth, or maybe doing something at like a sex club, or just adding other people into the bedroom now that there's 3 of you?
Yeah, they was supposed to bring a fourth for my birthday, but they ain't do that. They ain't get a chance to do that. But we talk about it and shit. I mean, it's bringing a fourth to the bedroom, not necessarily to our relationship though, because our relationship, I feel like 2 of them is enough. I'm good with just them 2. But when it come to fucking though, yeah, we can bring a fourth. We can do that, man. We
So
supposed to
which
been
one of
did
y'all is
that.
down?
Yeah, which one are
Well,
y'all
let me
down?
tell you right now.
Hey.
Where do you guys live again?
Hey.
Phoenix or Gilbert,
Phoenix.
Arizona.
Phoenix.
Yeah.
So, my toy friend and
gonna
I
happen.
are talking about watching someone virtually, having someone watch us virtually and having like a virtual thing with each other.
That's cool.
The sex clubs are starting to open here, but I'm going to Miami, but I ain't that bold to just be up in the sex club just yet. So we are like trying to introduce voyeurism a little bit. So I mean, I'm down to watch y'all. Y'all can watch us. We can, go that way, but
and that's kind of
Hold
how
We
me
on,
can
and
do that.
James
Andy, real
started
quick.
was
James,
the sex
how do you
clubs.
feel? I was watching your face. How do you feel about other men being involved, if it's swapping or not swapping? How do you feel about that?
Me and Shayla actually has done it before Shante came into our relationship. I guess we was
Shante, you missed all the fun, bitch. You got to catch up. You better tell them we need another round.
Right, exactly.
so I guess we was quote unquote swingers. I guess me and Shayla and I been to swinger clubs and shit like that, and fucked around with other couples and full swap, soft swap. We've done all this shit.
So
Look at he
how
said
do you
we
feel
don't know
about it
that
now
shit.
as a trio? How do you feel about it?
We ease
get
into
done.
it.
Yeah. I'm with it.
Shante.
It just because Shante has limitations, so we had to ease into it for her.
Let's talk about that, Shante. What are your
She
hard
said, "Let's talk
what are your
about
hard
that. What's
limits
your
and, like,
limitations,
soft?
baby?"
Well, going into it, like swapping, I probably wouldn't be able to do that. I don't know. I just can't fuck somebody I don't know. Like just with them watching, and I'll just feel uneasy.
Okay,
it would take some
between
time.
Ouija and I.
Yeah.
The watching either.
I mean, I can watch, but I just don't touch me. Like the nigga, like don't touch me. I don't want you to touch
I'm
me.
done.
Can I
I'm
ask
boring.
all 3 of y'all? And I mean, we can start. Shayla, since you're the most open, we'll start with you, and then Tay, and then James. I'm curious to know what opened you guys up to the idea of not being in an exclusive monogamous relationship and instead pursuing a throuple. And even James, for you to say that y'all have swapped and been in the swinger lifestyle. How was that introduced to you guys? Because Whoreible Decisions, I don't know if it was us, but I'm curious to know how these conversations start for people who may not listen to our show, or if it came about,
Right.
in another way.
Yeah, so I would say with me and James, our openness started at the very beginning of our relationship. I was more like bi-curious at that stage, I would say. So I was down to have the threesome and to do that. And from the threesomes, we were like, well, what else is there? We done fucked all my friends and stuff. So now what else is there to do? So that's when we got into the swinging, and the swapping, even like you said, letting people watch us fuck, watching other people fuck. And it's throughout our entire relationship, because we were even open for a little bit too. Like that's just been me and James. Like that's just been how our relationship has been. And for me personally, it's opened me up because I'm a curious person, and I don't feel like there's been other dudes that I've talked to about, poly, threesomes, things like that, that wouldn't be okay with this type of relationship. They don't want me in love with someone else. But at the same time, I don't feel like for the rest of my life I should have to choose dick or pussy. And then at the same time, just with safety reasons, just not having a whole bunch of randoms. We got to a point where it was like, yeah, we got to know him and we stayed friends with a few of the people that we like swapped with and things like that. But we wanted someone to chill with that night, to cuddle with and go on dates with and get to really know and love. So that's where it came from for me. And then just to try
I feel, by the way, all the love through the screens. Like, from just the love language talk to even just how you all speak on each other. Like,
I want to give a shout to Shay real quick, because I think that a lot of women have mentioned this and don't exactly act like you are. Like, I've even heard other thruples where they'll not speak down to the person that maybe came after they had met their initial partner, but they'll just kind of be like, well, us. But like, you were very clear in saying you didn't even like calling her your third, which I didn't even mean to say disrespectfully, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I think you put a lot of emphasis on making sure that she feels good about what you all have going on. And I think it mainly should be coming from you. I think a lot of pressure is put on the man to like, oh, you're the one who's got two women. But it's like, nah, imagine how you must feel, Tay, feeling like, okay, well, is she really comfortable? Because I knew him first, and I think that women could learn a lot from what you're doing, because we do put a lot of pressure on the man. For example, Mandy and I both agreed, like, if a dude comes up and says something first, blah, 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 like there is a lot to be said with the woman in that. And I think, I don't know if Tay could agree, but it does sound like you do a lot to make her feel loved, which I've noticed from just an hour.
I appreciate that.
And I try. I guess I have another question too, because what you said with your other partners, they don't want you to love someone else. James, how do you hold in your jealousy or insecurity? I think we attach those characteristics to women a lot without thinking that men also get jealous or men have insecurities. How do you check yourself when maybe they're having fun or they want to have a girls' night out or they do want to just spend time alone? How do you check yourself?
I don't. They do it for me. But I mean, right. But my I guess it come from me most of the time, where it's like if one of them and myself are arguing or something, they always tend to comfort each other. And besides, like, I'm like, damn, I want some love too. Like, I'm pissed off too. Like, show me some love. Like, she can be mad for a little bit. Right. That's what they be saying. I'd be like, and we had the conversation, and I addressed it, and that's what we big on, just communicating it, and we've had the discussions about it, but they still do it though. But it's all good.
No, because it's expected. Not as much.
It's expected, but for the, like nights out and shit like that, I encourage them to have their girls' time and like build their relationship for our foundation can be strong.
How do you feel about when people maybe ask you for advice, other men? What do you think is different about you than men that have tried this before, or maybe friends, like what do you think is different about you or quality that you have that makes this dynamic work?
That's a good one.
I don't feel like it's nothing too crazy. It's just I'm open, and I was honest with Shayla from the beginning about what I wanted and what I was trying to experience, and she was open to it. She was a little hesitant at first, but like she said, she was always curious about it, and I just feel like I'm open to them, and I'm open to Shayla like loving Shante. I'm not a selfish type of nigga, so it just you have to be a certain type of way. You have to throw your pride to the side and realize it ain't about you most of the time, because the foundation is built really on the queens in a relationship, and that's just what it is.
Tay, what you
said? I was actually gonna say what you just said is, you said you were honest up front with what you wanted. I know along the relationship you guys grew more curious, but a lot of times we get letters that are written in, or even when I'm talking to friends, they're like, man, but my partner would never do that, so I ain't even gonna ask. So the fact that you literally just opened the conversation, I think so many people think they know their partner, especially in this kink space, or when you want to try to introduce more people, they just be like, nah, man, I know if I ask her for that, she gonna think I'm cheating or she gonna go crazy.
Right.
And a lot of times you'd be surprised what your partner is actually open to doing if you just open the dialogue to having that and seeing their comfortability levels. So I'm glad that you just said, I was honest. I said what I wanted. Shayla, you said you're curious. What more can we do? And I think those early conversations are what got y'all to, your successful throuple now. So I appreciate you saying that.
I'm curious to know. Okay, 2 questions. Who eats the best pussy out of the 3 of y'all?
Here you go. Here you go with the bullshit.
I'm done. I would say probably Shayla.
Yeah, I think we've had this conversation before, like on our podcast. So they both said me. So
Well, because before her, I never really experienced with a woman, so I was a little rusty.
But it's still, but you in it now. I saw you looked at her like, wow.
And she hasn't been scared about it. That's another thing.
All your friends that ate your pussy before this, they coming for you now. Okay, they ain't really had no good before this. Your friends gonna come for you now. They ain't gonna be your friends no more.
Who sucks the best dick?
Okay, that's for James.
Shit.
No, don't let him answer.
Okay, you don't answer. Which one of y'all like giving dick the most? Because that's normally the one who sucks it better.
Who do you think? Out of the 2 of y'all suck better dick?
I don't know. I think we're because we both make them come.
Right. And I know I've been sucking his dick for a minute now, so I know what to do if I want to make him come. So
like, we need this to be over with.
Real quick. And so real quick, because we didn't mention it in the beginning of the show, but you mentioned your podcast. So the 3 of you guys share a podcast together?
Yes. 3lationship goals.
And you guys often talk about like what for the people listening, because I know we missed that in the beginning. For the people listening who are curious to maybe hear more from you guys, what is your podcast about and what is it named?
It's 3lationship goals, and it's basically surrounded of polyamory, our life. We have 3 segments. So we have the good, bad reality. We have the good, bad reality. Where we kind of just give the good, the bad, and the reality. Obviously, we have the kinky cravings, all about sex, and then we have the tips of the week. Kind of just little facts
People
and things like
questions.
That. So it's dope. We like it. We've been doing it for almost a year now.
You guys will have to come to one of our live shows and be a guest, because
we was gonna come to the one in Vegas, but all this shit happened.
Listen,
Vegas opening, and so will y'all.
But wait, Atlanta closer. We might we need to get y'all up for the Atlanta
guaranteed
show.
Y'all will fuck someone from the audience, right?
Yeah, no, for sure.
They're gonna be like,
if y'all want to afford.
Listen, whenever y'all have,
okay. Let's not just make it seem like our audience is just giving the pussy.
But whenever y'all have one, right?
They just kiss me. That's it.
Whenever y'all have one, though, we definitely gonna come.
No,
so let us know.
I would really like that.
So
I would really like.
Let's get into our whole mail really quick before we all get out of here. Say the name of your podcast one more time. Is it 3 what?
3lationship goals.
So it's the number 3lationship goals.
We're gonna put it in our description, y'all, so y'all can see it. But I mean, obviously, we all want to tune in because this shit sounds good as fuck. I want y'all to get in a fight. I want to know how to fight go. I ain't gonna lie.
No, bitch.
We got one on our fights.
No toxic love. No toxic love. We ain't gonna hype.
Well, I'm here for tea. But anyway, here's the whole mail.
Yeah, I do like the whole mail for this week. Again, if you guys have a whole mail, please send it in to us. It's horribledecisions@gmail.com. This one actually kind of relays back to the episode with Damage on kind of just decision making in a relationship. I really like this. It says, "Hello, Weezy and Mandy. I'm a huge fan. I've been listening for about a year. Love you guys." Here we go. So about a week or so after the riots started happening about George Floyd, everybody had their opinion on what's going on. For the most part, the people around me are pretty much on the same page with a lot of these issues, but I'm a Black man and my wife is Mexican. We have a daughter and a son together, and we pretty much have the same idea on how we want to raise our kids. So to teach our kids on how change comes about, we went to our local protest and peacefully protested. Later that night, my wife was on the phone with her mother. She was explaining that we went to the protest and everything went great. My stepmother cuts her off mid-sentence and starts regurgitating the Candace Owens video on George Floyd. And she literally was saying the most nasty, most racist things I ever thought would come out of her mouth. Mind you, she always does say slick racist things under her breath, but I choose to ignore it because of respect for my wife. But this time I had enough. So I took the phone and started explaining to her mother what was going on, and she cut me off and didn't even want to listen. She explained to me that she doesn't care what's going on. She's not black, so why should she care? And I said, okay, then hung up. So my wife and I made the conscious decision to not bring our children around her mother or her husband because of their social and political views. She's not even taking in the fact that it's her grandkids that are both half black, and they might go through the same things that he thinks other people of color are going to go through. Are we wrong for this? I don't want to keep my kids away from my grandmother, but with a toxic mind like that, I cannot have those kids around them. Are we wrong? Are we over exaggerating? Or are we already doing the right thing? This happened almost 2 weeks ago, and I feel bad. But at the same time, I feel like doing what's right.
I love that, Mel. And I just want to say something. I want to quote the Dr. Umar, man of my life. He said, and I quote, when you mix chocolate milk and regular milk, ain't no half chocolate milk. You get chocolate milk.
Right.
So your kids is black. One. And two, just a side note, this is exactly why non-black POCs do not need to be saying nigga.
Right.
I've said it.
Right.
This is why.
God,
they just as racist. Well, not all of them. When we're speaking, I don't want to say all, but I know that we had the conversation. Some of you guys may have heard with Brianda. We put it in a few episodes ago. But I have the conversations with my Latina friends that I don't want them to say the N-word, but specifically because their parents, their grandparents, and the people that I know they were raised by don't have a good view on black people or dark skin. Mm-hmm. I don't even want to say just black people because there are Afro-Latinas that get the same treatment as black people because of the color of their skin.
Right.
I'll say my advice, and then I would love to hear what you guys say. I say that racism is, you're not born with it, you're taught it. And so to me, the influence of what your grandparents could have on your children, I would say that that's not conducive to what we want our future to look like. So I would say it's unfortunate. I think that there's a way to be around your grandparents while they're with your kids. I wouldn't say leave them alone. I think it's also unfortunate to keep certain family members away from children, but they're also children, so they'll be fine. They can go to the funeral. That was really bad to say. But anyways, I just honestly, I have no type of
sympathy,
I guess empathy. Yes, bitch. Y'all know I be forgetting words and shit, but I have no empathy for this. It's something that happened with my white side of my family. A lot of my white side of my family didn't accept all of us for being black. I know as far as my mom dating, it was she made sure to let anyone that she was dating that wasn't black, let it be known that her children were black, because she wasn't going to stand for someone making us uncomfortable or making us feel less than. So I think that it's important for you as a black man to not only educate your wife, but let her know your reasoning for not wanting your kids around. All right, next.
Right. And I feel the same way because me personally, my daughter mom is white. So and her and I just had a conversation recently because I mentioned it with everything going on, and we was like, she's turning 5, so we looking into schools and shit. So we the schools around her is like, they're not very like diverse, so there's not that many like black students in the schools. So I was telling her, like, either school she goes to, I'm gonna have to teach her Black history, and she agreed, like, and she agreed, like, I don't want to teach it to her. I feel more comfortable with you teaching it to her, which ultimately I was gonna say anyway. But and it's just like certain family members on her side too, I think, feel the same way. It's like, oh, he's the black guy. Like, why are you dating the black guy? But right. But she has a tendency of like going off and shit on them too, because she loves her daughter, obviously, and she don't play that shit when it comes to her. And that's one thing I commend her on. She really big on like keeping them family members away from her, which I commend her on.
And you also just got to check them. And I think he tried to check the grandmother, and she
having it.
Cut her off and wasn't listening. So
I mean, you're
Weezy, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I mean, I find it super interesting. Oh shoot, I think their Wi-Fi might have cut off. You see that?
Nope. They're back.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh wait, maybe not. Yeah, no, I don't know.
Okay, well, I love what they said. I'm gonna wrap this up for them really quickly. Oh, you guys are back. Okay. So I want you guys to do us a favor, just to wrap this up. I'm sure everybody really loved this episode. And honestly, it's something that we've been talking about for so long. Like, this is obviously a quote unquote much more real throuple. You know, mine was very brief. And
what happened to it? I ain't never listened.
It was just
I ain't heard in the episodes about what happened to it.
You know what I mean? She kind of just left
Yeah.
everybody
Let it
hanging.
go.
And said,
Right.
Guess what? I got a new
well,
nigga.
I'll tell y'all.
We was wondering.
Damn.
So
Rude.
great. I talked about this on Patreon, but honestly, Scissors and we are still great friends. We broke up, and that basically crumbled the triad, so to speak. But
Right.
you know, I think for a long time coming, maybe I saw this happening because her and I were friends for so long that connection and that attraction to each other was never really leaving. But when we knew that some values weren't adding up or some things wouldn't match for like longevity, it didn't work. And right now we're still great friends. And I want to give a shout out to her because she just started dating someone. She's got a boyfriend. And she said that the boyfriend was like, what the fuck? This bitch be calling you at midnight. It's still your ex. And she's like, okay, well, this is one ex that can't go. This is,
Right.
she has to be
dope.
in my life. And we are really
what's
good
up.
friends. I actually got in a conversation on Twitter. Y'all know this shit is messy. But I was like, if I got married, would I not be allowed to have her as a bridesmaid? And people were like, are you kidding me? But that's how close she is to me. And I will say, like, that's why I wanted to ask you guys about how it felt when you met, because it's weird when you're super attracted to someone, but you also click. And I can only describe it as to hetero people. When you meet someone and you call them your best friend, oh my God, he's like my best friend. It can really be like that when you meet another woman. And it's this weird, almost like, I don't want to use the word sisterhood, but like when you feel this closeness to a woman, that femininity, and you're able to have sex together, it's just like unheard of. But
It's all of it. Yeah.
yeah. And it's crazy because her and I almost jumped back into friendship too quick. We were like, okay, we can't. But now we're great. It feels good. And I also think the thing with my throuple that I will say, distance, I don't think we all lived in a different city. I don't think that's realistic at all.
Oh, hell no.
Ooh,
Nah.
yeah, that's
gonna work.
hard.
The only good thing was you get to fuck on vacation every time you see each other.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
the
true.
anticipation, I'm sure it was a good fuck, but
I mean, you're like waiting, right? And the other two are with each other and you're FaceTiming the other one. Like, it's almost too much. But this is such a great example. And I think what also makes it better is it shows a side of the man where you also hear him being dominant but respectful. Because we don't put those two together when it comes to a man dating two women. I feel like ever. We think like he got it going on and these girls are just along for the ride. But you two, I mean, you three all seem in love, and I love love, yo.
I'm really
Right.
glad that we were
Exactly.
able to get y'all on here. We are going to put not only their podcast in the description of this, but you guys we'll tag you guys on Twitter, on Instagram. We'll get your individual. I guess no, we won't, because I feel like people gonna try to holler. So we just gonna put
Yeah,
your-
we try to
put your-
keep it
you know
to
what I mean?
our one that we do together because
Together. So we'll make sure to we'll make sure to post that handle so that you guys can weave in through and maybe find a fourth. But I want to thank you guys so much for joining us. This was fun. And you guys, specifically Tay and Shayla, you let it be known that you guys really enjoy each other. You guys respect each other, and you don't feel like you're settling. I think a
Right.
lot of women think that, oh, well, y'all are just doing this because y'all are settling, or whatever people may think of when two women decide to join in a relationship like this. So I love how both of you respected each other and definitely showed that both of y'all love Big Dick James over there. So,
Right.
you know.
BDJ.
I appreciate it.
BDJ.
And guys, I want to thank again you guys for tuning in. Weezy, do you have any drops or anything to let the people know?
Oh, yes.
Just so y'all know, we got, shit coming,
That's
y'all.
right.
Shit coming.
On Tuesdays,
We're
you
opening
guys,
up.
you can hear me on another podcast called For Fact's Sake. If you guys thought I had a white voice now, wait till you hear me and my friend Eddie. Every week, we talk about different topics. We did conspiracy theories last week. We do weird deaths. I think this week is cheese. It just gets crazy. But we are going to do one on Black names And I don't know who I'm gonna get for this, but I've been learning so much. Just, quarantine makes me YouTube shit. Right. All the Ishas, all the Eddas, all of that shit. These are all kings and queens, and people make fun of us for the Isha and this and that and shit. But little do you know, your name is regal, and I really want to celebrate Black names, and I'm trying to find a great guest to have on. And yeah, it'll be dope. So check it out. You guys will love it.
And guys, if y'all are all caught up with all of our regular episodes on Whoreible Decisions, there are over 70 more over on Patreon. For just as little as $5 a month, you get 3 bonus episodes every month. And so damn, that's like 7-8 episodes every month y'all listen to us. Again, thank you guys. There's also guests on there. We do some shit where we get our patrons on board. And if you guys are interested, or if you guys I'm about to do something with our patrons where I'm discussing different birth control options.
So she doesn't get a smushmortion.
No, I'm not going to do a smushmortion. But I've literally been doing a lot of research, and I know that birth control affects all of us differently. So I actually do want to start having more of those intimate conversations with patrons. So if you want to become a patron, join us on patreon.com/Whoreible Decisions. Make sure you type it in that way because we are 18 plus. Again, we are going to leave you guys with a 5-minute bonus clip for our patrons. If you like what you hear there, you can listen to more on Patreon. So once again, this has been another episode of Whoreible Decisions.
Bye.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
This friend. I have a friend that when I'm sick, I call her. Bitch, when I'm breaking up with my nigga, I call her. If I think I want to kill someone, I'm going to call her. Bitch, if I need to do a scam on my Amex, I'm calling that bitch because she knows. That is Tammy. How Tammy motherfucking got advice for every goddamn thing, and you knew she was gonna raise her hand.
I know, because look, every time we say, if anyone wants to talk, raise your hand. Tammy was me in school. Me, I know the answer. Me, pick on me. You know what I mean?
Tammy could do this fucking show. Okay.
All right.
So let's get into the Whoreible decision. I don't want to talk too much about birth control because I know you're about to do a whole episode on it.
All righty.
But
look at my cat, bro. Look how bad he is. He just biting my hand, bro. You see Bodie?
Well, maybe you shouldn't have bought a crackhead cat.
I love him. I love my little crackhead kitty. Ow, ow.
Crackhead kitty.
All right.
Crackhead kitty.
All right.
Crackhead kitty.
No, we're not going to sing a song about my crackhead cat. We're not going to do that. All
right,
y'all.
Somebody bopping. Okay.
Let's go.
So vanilla shit. Now, this is a very basic one, but I only picked it because it's actually happening to me, and I'm curious to know if you guys are experiencing this. So, headline: women are having a lot of bad sex during COVID. Okay, let me explain. Not blaming my nigga, just hear me. More sex and
Did he hear you right now?
He's not home yet, but I'm gonna. It's not.
So this is why you talking about having bad dick for the last 4 months? Can you not do this?
No, his dick is great, but just hear me. My pussy's not working. Just let me get this out.
Okay, go ahead.
So a team of researchers got in touch with about 60 women who had already surveyed their sex lives in the 6 to 12 months prior to COVID. Most of them are having more sex weekly and worse sex. Many people have been in a withdrawal response, but others have an approach response. Sex can be a stress reliever or a distraction. However, despite having more sex, women are coming less, their quality of sex isn't getting as good, and they have a significant deterioration in sexual functioning like arousal, lubrication, and the ability to orgasm. Bitch, I'm telling you, for some reason, I don't know if it's because I'm fucking too much, but it's like I can't come anymore. My pussy just stopped working. All I do is masturbate all of the time. If this nigga is working and he can't fuck me, I go masturbate. And then during sex, it's like I can't concentrate, or I'm fucking too much. It's like 3 times a day, bitch.
So, not my problem.
You have new dick.
It ain't new dick, bro. I ain't never, honestly, I know.
How long have you had it, Mandy?
Listen,
90 Day Fiancés?
Listen, however, let me tell y'all, right? Yes, 24/7 was in the picture, 7 years. Fuck that nigga like once a week for damn near almost 7 years. Got it. This nigga, I have seen every single day since we met. Like, and it's not an exaggeration. But I've never fucked somebody every day for 2 months.
When did you meet him, Mandy?
Bro, like 2 months ago.
Okay, please raise your hand, class, if 2-month dick is new dick.
But no, wait. Fuck the raising your hand, because yes, it's new dick, but when is it when you meet somebody that you see them every day for 2 months straight?
Mandy,
ain't nobody doing that, bro.
This is the love of your life. We get it, but it's still new.
Bro, that's fine that it's new, but y'all, he 4 times. Like every time we fuck, that nigga nut and the dick stay hard and we go again. So it's 4 times every day for the last 2 months. Bro, I think I fucked him more than 24/7 already. That's what it feel like.
Well, that's what it is. But
I'm coming. I'm telling you, I'm coming.
But you, ma'am, have been abstinent. So your pussy is backed up.
I was abstinent for like 2 months, bruh.
Now this bitch is trying to tell us she ain't been abstinent that long?
I told them before you got in the room. I lied to them
How
about
do I mute Mandy? One moment.
No, bitch, you better not. I'll fuck you up, pussy. Anyway.
Has anybody, I'm curious to know, because I have been having honeymoon phase, you guys, that's it. I have been like fucking so much. And don't get me wrong, niggas stroke game is lit. We've been making lit videos. I think my pussy broken. And I need to bring it back to life by fucking
broken pussy. We need somebody to sing the song. Who knows?
Tammy, we just need like
Tammy, we know you know the song, but actually, no. Emmy look like she ready to sing "Broken Pussy." Broken pussy. No. Okay. All right. 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 No. Okay.